one day more to the big tournament in Qatar. One day more, and the whole world will assemble to see global showpiece at its best. But let's start off with the Black Stars because they have arrived in Qatar 2 days to the start of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. The four-time African champions are in Group H alongside European powerhouse Portugal, two-time world champions Uruguay, and Asian giant South Korea. The Black Stars will be Ghana, lodging at the five-star DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel, will open their campaign against Portugal on November 24. 4 days later, the Black Stars return to action with a clash against South Korea at the Education City Stadium in Al Riyadh. Ghana will wrap up their group stage adventure with their much-anticipated encounter with Uruguay at the Al Janoub Stadium in Al Wakra. Well, my colleague, George the Jr., is currently in Qatar, Doha, with the Black Stars team, and we're going to get up to speed on the current status of things because we know the team has arrived in Qatar. George, what is the mood in camp at the moment? Because we understand the team has arrived in Qatar, and interestingly, they were done in Batakari.
Yeah, of course, they looked really, really good. I have to say, it was very nice to see them come into Qatar that way. Very, very unconventional. They went for the smoke, the Batakari, and a lot of the guys really spoke about it. I'll tell you, at the airport, a number of dignitaries were waiting for them to arrive, including the special FIFA media team. And so you'd have realized that the first videos that came out really came from the FIFA media team who were down on the grounds to ensure they received them at the Doha International Airport. Then before they would even arrive at the hotel, there was more like a jamboree. There was an interesting party that was ongoing. The fans in Doha, I don't know where they came from, but quite a number of them were around the plus, DoubleTree Hotel, singing and jamming for 2 hours non-stop, waiting for the Black Stars bus to get closer. I was with the team as well in Abu Dhabi as they signed off this morning after medical training. I mean, they had medical checkups, they had a little bit of training as well, they had some treatment, and then they went in for lunch and they headed off with their flight into the Doha International Airport. Once they got there, they took their initial pictures, looking very, very nice in their smock, and then they hit the bus and straight to their hotel where they're going to be lodging. Now, when they got there, it was difficult for them to even move through it. I tell you, I saw maybe close to 100 security detail right on the street to ensure that the Black Stars will get into their hotel safely because the Ghanaian fans will simply not give them an opportunity to even breathe. They kept on singing, kept on chanting until all the boys came down and entered the hotel. I can tell you now that the things have kind of quietened here, but there are still 1 or 2 Ghanaian fans who are still, popping in and out. See if maybe they'll get a picture or say hello or hi to one of their favorite guys. I'll say in all, it's been a fantastic welcome for the Black Stars. And if they thought this was not a big competition, especially because most of them are playing for the first time in the competition, they have a big idea of what the World Cup is like, and it's really big. Ghana's welcome here.
John, let's talk about the itinerary of the team because we know they have a game against Portugal on November 24th. And so, what is the Black Stars team going to go through ahead of that crucial opener against Portugal?
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of training. That's one thing that I've seen. They're going to be training a lot. And because we've got a week, there were even suggestions that they may try to play 1 or 2 local sides behind closed doors to ensure that they are able to, finally dot the I's and cross the T's, which is very important for the team. So we'll see a lot of that. And in the course of the week as well, there will be opportunities to have opportunities to speak to the boys. Talk about press conferences, media days before the game itself will take place. They will have a chance to go to the stadium where the game is going to take place. And I think that we're here to give you everything that happens with the Black Stars from day one till the end of the competition, hopefully in the final and hopefully when they can win it. So it's a very huge lineup of activities, but I'd assume that tomorrow they have to relax and rest a bit because it's been a very, very long day for them. By now they're all retiring to bed, and I think there will be a light shake up tomorrow, probably in the morning. As we speak to you, it's midnight anyway here in Doha, so the boys are definitely stretching their legs and looking forward to a very busy day that begins tomorrow.
George, clearly you spoke about the fans. The reception has been great. There was a parade in Doha, I think days before the start of the tournament, we saw quite a number of Ghanaian fans trooping to the streets, celebrating, and looking forward to that crucial encounter against Portugal. But let's talk a bit about the reception the team has received in Qatar, the fan base in Qatar. How has the mobilization of the fans been so far? Because at least the government has been a bit hesitant as far as sponsoring fans to Qatar is concerned.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I can tell you that the fans I saw here, many of them are living in Doha or in and around Doha, i.e. some have come from Abu Dhabi, to here just to support the team. I was surprised at the number I saw because I did not think there were enough Ghanaians in there to create the buzz that they created before the team arrived in the hotel. I was here in 2019, that's some 3 years ago, for the World Athletics Championships. I didn't get any sense that there were a lot of Ghanaians here, probably because it was an athletics competition and the likes of Azamati and Co were just coming up. But I can confirm that loads of the guys that you've seen are from Doha. They are living here. They are doing their jobs. One or two of the guys are volunteers who have come over to work during the spirit. They're spending a lot here. So they have been able to mobilize themselves very, very well. And speaking to one or two of them, I could see that they've got a bit of a structure. They have been planning this for long. They've been warming up and waiting for the Black Stars. And they have made it a point to beat what's happening in Loca. If you remember during the friendlies, especially the friendly game against Nicaragua and Spain, in Spain Loca, we had a lot of the fans mobilized. When the team was in Abu Dhabi as well, we saw a lot of mobilization of fans. Once again, this time it's by those who were in Abu Dhabi. Nobody coming from Ghana. Those in Abu Dhabi, most of them took a day off. When I interviewed them, they said they took a day off their jobs. All the guys you saw in the videos who were singing and chanting for the Black Stars when they played against Switzerland, they took a day off. It's the same thing happening in Doha as well. They took time off their schedules to just come and welcome the Black Stars. And if you speak to the Black Stars players, they understand their role in the lives of many Ghanaians across the world, and they know they must show up in this competition that begins on November 24th for Ghana against Portugal.
I mean, George, on Sunday, the opening ceremony, of course, we're all looking forward to it. We do remember what happened in South Africa 2010, the opening ceremony, likewise in Brazil in 2014, and even in Russia 2018. I mean, when you observe the environment in Doha at the moment, what are you picking? Are you getting a hint of what we should expect at the opening ceremony on Sunday?
I think you should expect something spectacular. And I remember on the Qatar show, the countdown to Qatar, we did say that when you talk about Doha or when you speak about Qatar, they say impossible is not in their dictionary. They don't, I mean, everything and anything they can believe and imagine must happen. And that is the attitude they go with. I won't say anything bad about the World Athletics Championships in Oregon, but I tell you, in terms of the color, in terms of the light, in terms of the blend and the show that they put out there, it really, really took the World Athletics Championships to a certain level. I am expecting just the same, because Qatar say they are small in nature. They understand there are huge circumstances around and controversies around their hosting the World Cup, but they are promising to blow off our minds, blow everybody off with the kind of planning they're doing. Right from the airports all the way through town, you don't need a reminder that there is a World Cup happening here. And if you look at the lineup of artists, quite a number of them, and the rehearsals that you can hear coming in from the Khalifa Stadium, they are surely getting themselves ready. And we should expect a blast of an opening ceremony and, of course, a great competition to match.
I mean, George, the reason why even the tournament is taking place in this time of the year is because of the weather. I mean, how will you describe the weather condition at the moment? And, closely related to that, how players, because we know quite a number of teams have already arrived, how they're acclimatizing to the weather. I mean, is it quite okay for them?
I'd say it's okay in terms of how hot it can be in Doha. But I am a bit surprised because I thought that coming into November, December would have meant that we're going to have, really, really good temperatures. I mean, a very, very good weather. I thought maybe we're going to be doing 14 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Celsius, in November, December. Maybe it will improve as the competition goes. But I tell you, it's as hot as Abu Dhabi was as well. So they're still doing some 28 degrees, some 29 degrees, some 30 degrees. Obviously, not the exact temperature that you expect. Some of the Swiss players that play against Ghana did complain about the weather. They said it was too hot and they were not able to, concentrate in it. It may be an advantage for the Africans because it's not an entirely cold weather and it's not an entirely hot weather relative to how hot it can be in Doha. When I was here, again, it was about 42 degrees, 39 degrees in Doha, but I'll say that it's now under the 20s And so it should be manageable for everybody. We're going to see a lot of sunshine. It should give us a great tournament. And hopefully every player is able to cope with it. That's the hope. I'll say it's fair and fine. We don't need to complain.
I mean,
especially for Ghanaians.
Just before we go, news came in that they banned, consumption of beer in the stadium, and not quite a lot of people are particularly happy about it because we understand German fans in particular are not happy about that. Just wrap up on that, then we can let you go.
Yeah, it's an important one, and I can understand where the inspiration of that question came. Anyway, hello to Bediako when you're done with everything. But I was going to tell you this. Yeah, they banned it, and Doha are very strict with the stuff that they're doing here. They are not willing to give in to a lot of the things, and so yeah, that story is very, very true. There is fear. There's actually fear that maybe people may not turn up as they expect, because a lot of the fans across the world are not entirely happy with most of the restrictions here for fans. So we are not going to see a lot of Dutch fans. We are not going to see a lot of English fans. I'm very sure we won't see a lot of German fans. But the local authorities as well are, in their own way, mobilizing fans and making sure that the countries are heavily represented. But talk about the numbers you're going to see from the original countries, I'm not very, very sure. I think it may take a dip. And the reason why there are still tickets available, even we are some 48 hours to the competition. So that is a challenge. I'm sure the organizing committee will be hoping that they can surmount. But of course, their rules are their rules, and they don't look like they are bending anytime soon. So for anybody who is coming to Qatar, you just have to keep in your mind that it's not going to be one of those easy places to come to. They'll create the excitement as much as possible, but you have to deal with their strict rules, unfortunately.
Well, George, thank you very much for all of that. George, all the way in Qatar, Doha there. As far as Joy Sports is concerned, we're going to bring you all relative to the World Cup. Remember, it's live on Joy Prime starting Sunday, and also live commentary on Joy 99.7 FM. But let's continue. Let's stay on the Black Stars, because former defender Anthony Bafo has told Joy Sports Ghana needs a good team spirit in camp. He has been speaking to Muftar Nabila Abdullahi on Prime Take.
First of all, when you go to a World Cup, and I had the pleasure in 2006 to be part of the delegation, and saw also what happened behind the scenes. So it is very, very important to be well prepared. Apart from technical and tactical skills, you need also managerial skills, because this is the first time Otto will be with a team for 3 to 4 weeks.
Yes.
So you will have different moods in camp. You see, every player has a different character. You have a captain with Dede and Thomas Partey, who are the leaders together with all those who have experience. Exactly, Jordan, Baba has been there for quite a while. And it's important to have a good atmosphere, a good ambience, a good team spirit that can take you places. Believe me, it's very important. The FA, they're already in Qatar. And this is very important. That we go, we're there ahead, they have been going 3, 4, 5 times. This is a World Cup. You can't leave anything to chance. Bonuses should be paid if they're owing the players. The environment within camp, you have to make sure that everything is tip-top. His technical team, the way they are working together, it's important that they're united, because it's not going to be easy in terms of media landscape. Ghana is a football nation, so this is a different pressure which comes with it, which you have to live with it. So I always tell Otto, stay calm, stay serene, and continue to work out. He doesn't sleep a lot, and he's someone who's always doing research. So personally, I wish him very, very well, and I believe he has got what it takes to make an impact.
Well, let's move to some golf now, because the 2022 Goldfields PGA Golf Championship will tee off on November 20 at the 18-hole Diamond Golf Course in the Western region. Top professional golfers from Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Togo, Zimbabwe, and other African countries will compete for the ultimate prize of Officials of headline sponsors Goldfields Ghana and PGA Ghana president have been speaking at today's media launch.
This year's tournament is our 9th, so it's 9 years of officially sponsoring the Diamond Golf tournament, the PGA. But prior to that, we've had ongoing relationships with the PGA to that. So I would say over more than 10 years, we've engaged with the PGA in promoting the sport of golf in Ghana. In 2020 and 2021, we restricted a number of golfers due to we all know the COVID restrictions. I'm pleased to know that this year we're lifting those restrictions and we're allowing all professional golfers who have made it through the qualifiers and amateurs and friends to participate in this tournament.
Announced that there will be 24 Ghanaian players and then 8 international players from Nigeria, Gabon, and I think the list was mentioned. Yeah, Diamond Golf Course is a fantastic course, and actually all you need to do is stand in front of the gate and the reception you see is amazing. And the course keepers have done a fantastic job year in, year out to keep it at its top condition. And I was in Diamond for the Ghana Open. The course was amazing, and I think it's even being prepared for the PGA Championship. So it's going to be an amazing course, well kept and well manicured.
You know, if you can recall back the reason why we are doing this tournament is there because we want to develop golf in the junior ranks. We want to develop golf for the juniors, boys and girls. We are seeking to get the Tiger Woods in Ghana. We are seeking that. 2 weeks ago, I was privileged to be there at the tournament at Damang, and I've seen some juniors hitting the ball there, and I was so happy.
Well, that's all we have for you here as far as Prime Sports is concerned. My name is Razak Musbao. There's so much more on myjoyonline.com/sports, but the Black Stars will be in action on Thursday, November 24. And our message to all of you is that rally behind the flag of Ghana. Let's support the Black Stars and let's do all we can to ensure that the team do succeed, because clearly they'll be out there to represent the nation. These are visuals of the Black Stars' arrival, and well, the tune there is Akwaba's fine tune in the background. So enjoy the Black Stars in Batakari. And it's beautiful. It's the Black Stars. Go Ghana, go Black Stars.